And I want to thank my colleague, the member for Carleton Trail, Eagle Creek, and her team for all their leadership and work on this and many other issues, and especially for giving me this opportunity today. Although this legislation seems confined to one geographical area with a very specific intent, it's in fact of national importance, with wide-ranging impacts for people and communities in the local vicinity and also all across Canada. It's also instructive of the particular ideology driving the Liberals' policy decisions and reveals the cavern between their words, their aims, and the real consequences of their actions. The roots of this bill were planted very early, in fact, less than a month after the last general election. The Prime Minister himself said it's his own highest priority to base his government's policies and laws on evidence and on consultation. In the mandate letter to the Minister of Natural Resources, in fact, the Prime Minister said, quote, "Ensure that decisions are based on science, facts, and evidence and serve the public's interest." But on November 13th, 2015, mandate letters from the Prime Minister to at least 3 ministers directed them to work together to formalize a moratorium on crude oil tankers off of British Columbia's north coast. One wonders quite reasonably how could it all be possible that there was sufficient time in 25 days to ground this directive on the results of comprehensive assessments of existing environmental and safety record standards, outcomes and gaps, comparative analysis of marine traffic rules, enforcement and track records on all Canadian coasts and internationally, and of thorough local, regional, and national economic impact studies. Clearly, those undertakings would deliver the information required for fact and evidence-based decision-making. On top of that, how could there possibly be sufficient time to consult with impacted communities, with First Nations, with industry, and with experts? There's a difference between consulting to get to a decision and meeting in order to get to the conclusion you already want. But unfortunately, 2 years in, this is a pattern to which Canadians are getting accustomed. Because despite all the talk, it's actually voter coalitions, politics, and ideology that drive the Liberals' predetermined conclusions.
That's right.
But this bill, of course, isn't really about transport standards or marine traffic or protecting the safety and ecology of BC's Northern Shore exclusively for the Liberals. It's really yet another step in limiting Canadian oil development, in hindering Canadian oil transportation, and in the Prime Minister's own explicit goal of phasing out the oil sands. The fact that this ban is exclusively in northern BC and only applies to crude oil tankers in a specific zone begs the question, why is tanker traffic okay near Vancouver and off the East Coast, but not in northern BC? The unbiased, nonpartisan Library of Parliament's legislative summary states explicitly that the debate around the tanker moratorium stems from the Conservative-approved Northern Gateway Pipeline project, which would have transported 525,000 additional barrels per day of oil from Bruderheim, Alberta, which is in my riding of Lakeland and in the industrial heartland, Canada's largest petrochemical and refining region, to Kitimat, BC. In November 2016, the Liberals directed the National Energy Board to dismiss the project, citing concerns about crude oil tankers transiting in the area. The tanker ban in this region will permanently prevent any other opportunities for pipelines to transport world-leading Canadian oil to the Prince Rupert Kitimat area, where it could reach the rapidly growing Asia-Pacific region to achieve export market diversification by expanding Canada's customer base. Reaching more export markets is vital to ensuring the long-term development of Canada's crude oil reserves, which are the 3rd largest in the world. Energy is Canada's 2nd biggest export. 97% is imported by the United States. As the U.S. becomes Canada's biggest energy competitor, infrastructure that will get landlocked Canadian oil to more export markets worldwide is more important than ever. This is vital for all Canadians.